Hi, I'm Desley McCall. I'm a born and bred local from Mole Creek, and I'm now president of the Mole Creek Progress Association.
My name is Steve Wake. I'm not born and bred. I moved into the area in March of last year with my wife, so we're probably one of quite a number of new people in the Mole Creek area in the last few years. And I've been coming along to the Progress Association since we got here, and I've managed to fill the role of Vice President in the last few months.
How did you hear about the association?
Facebook.
Okay.
We'd known about it for a couple of years before we moved down here, yeah. So we've been following the progress of what's been going on online, so we had an idea of what it was about before we got here.
What projects are happening?
At the moment, it's mainly just the swimming pool. The pool closed for a couple of years, and it took a momentous effort to get it back up and running. There was, a lot of working bees, a lot of scrubbing the pool, and a lot of grants. We managed to get a grant to get solar heating put in, so now our pool is beautiful and warm. It's just ongoing. We just, trying to keep things going. And
you've got a wonderful door as well.
Yes.
Coming into the pool.
Yes.
And keyless system we talked about
yes,
as well.
Yes, that's it. The keyless entry system for the pool. Early on, in the early days of the Progress Association, the streetscape was basically blackberries, bush, and not very appealing, and that's how the Progress Association got going. They formed a committee, put in gardens, got rid of all the mess, and the council keeps it mowed for us now, but it's turned it into a really nice streetscape. Yeah.
A very tidy town.
Yes.
Perhaps you could talk about some of the awards that Mole Creek has had over the years.
Yes, and we've won quite a few awards over the years. In the 1980s, we was very prolific in winning tidy towns, different categories for the small towns, and then one year we won best overall in Tasmania tidy town, and that's due to the efforts of a lot of people.
How many people are currently involved with the association?
About 20, would you say, as a guess?
As a rough number?
Yeah.
Those numbers fluctuate with any volunteer group.
Yep.
We have meetings once a month, so we could have 20, we might have 10, but actually probably in the time I've been here we've probably averaged around 10 at most meetings, so I think that's a reasonably good number, and other times we'll get more, but it's probably better than 3 or 4 people.
Yep, and we have dedicated volunteers that aren't active with our meetings as such, but they are passionate about the pool, so they'll come in because we need the volunteers to open and close the pool.
Each day?
Each day, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And when is the pool open?
Daily from 8:30 to 7 p.m.
All year?
No, only for 4 months.
Okay.
Yes.
It's fairly rigorous for the volunteers because everyone does it on a voluntary basis, so it's a case of fitting in and opening and a close around whatever else is going on in everyone's own lives. And it's not a case of just coming down here and unlocking the gate and saying she's open. There's a lot of work to do just by putting the covers on, making sure the equipment that cleans the pool is looked after. So it's anything from a 30-minute to an hour's job, depending on how quick we can get through it. But it's a sizable chunk out of your day. So for us to be doing that and keeping the pool open and running every day, we rely on a very dedicated group of volunteers. They're very passionate about having the pool here, and that's probably the reason why we have got those volunteers. And I think probably the reward that we get out of it is probably not so much the comments from our local people. We know they appreciate it and they come down here on a regular basis, but the tourists that we get through town and comments that we get from them on how amazed they probably are to find that there's a pool here in the first place, but also to be able to swim in that pool and enjoy the magnificent views that we've got around here.
I mean, it's a fantastic resource for Mole Creek.
Yes,
surrounding area, isn't it?
Yeah.
If tourists do come, how do they get access to the pool? Do they need to contact someone in order to organise to use the pool, or do they need to sign up, or what would they need to do?
They'll find all the information on our Facebook page. The easiest way is to pop next door to the café or the supermarket. They have all the information there. They can just scan a QR code and it does the payment, does the waiver, and then they'll just get the code and then they can just come and use the pool all day. Another way, I met a tourist the other day and she's at the caravan park and she also has all the information there. So they can do it that way too, because we get a lot of tourists.
Yep. And I guess using that technology means there's not as much of a burden on volunteers and people who are contributing to the
Otherwise. We would have to have somebody man the gate. Now the cafe, especially the last couple of years, they've put in they're busy with their own business and yet they stop and speak and set people on the right track to come to the pool.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, they've been a really good extra volunteer sort of thing, yeah. Mm.
Do you know when the group started?
That's for the swimming pool itself. The Progress Association, digging back into the archives even earlier than the 1970s, so yes, maybe even 1960s, something like that, the group actually started and decided we need to clean up our streetscape.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot about the town that you see now that you wouldn't realise from just a cursory driving through, that the Progress Association over the years has been instrumental in doing things around town. So for instance, there's the hut down there, which is it the furriers, I just can't remember their name, the people that went and trapped animals up in the mountains.
Yep.
So there's mountain huts, there's one here in our main street. And the Progress Association at the time, I think, is that back in the 1980s, I think? They moved one down.
To our street, yeah.
So it's in the street, people can come and have a walk through it. It's got a great deal of information in there. You can come, you can read all about it and walk into the thing and get a feel for these huts that are up in the mountains that were used years and years ago by the hunters and trappers.
Yep.
Very accessible history.
Yes, and also there's a playground right next door, and that was another project of the Progress Association, getting that playground, because this used to be this infant school here many years ago, and so they leased the land and then purchased it, I think, for $1 or something for the pool. But so there's a playground, and that was all also put in by the Progress Association.
Okay.
Yeah, so continually trying to do improvements and that thing, yeah.
So, memorable and big projects, obviously got a great pool. You mentioned the hut. Is there any other things that do you think have stood out for you?
Recently we've got solar panels put on, because we also own the building where the cafe is.
Okay.
So we recently got a grant, and so now they've got solar panels on that to try and offset some of the power costs for our tenants.
Yeah. And these grants were done up?
Other ones as well. Bendigo Bank, Greymont has been a huge supporter of ours with grants. Yep. Yeah, so they're the two that really stick in the mind of recent times. I'm not sure about earlier days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And future plans? Other projects?
Not a lot in the wind at the moment. We just find the pool just is taking a fair bit of our energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the limited time that I've been here and listening to what's going on and how things are progressing, just the size of the pool and the relatively small volunteer base that we do have does mean that the pool, because it is a pool, will generate a lot of activity that needs to be devoted to that. However, having said that, the Progress Association is really much more than being interested in promoting the pool. We would really like to be promoting much more about the community and looking towards any endeavours that will be activities or projects that will contribute towards improving the entire community. So this is a great facility and does a great job, but as we said, it's only there for 4 months a year. But there's lots of other small community, but there are youth issues in the area, and just in supporting and maintaining the local businesses that we do have in the area. So we would like to progress in that direction as I suppose, diversifying our interests rather than just going, we've got a pool and that's not what we're all about.
Yes.
No.
It's an important aspect of us, but we would like to be promoting and seeing other things happen in the community.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think that there would be would this be a structured expression of interest sort of thing in the future, or is it just someone's doing something cool and the Progress Association can give them a bit of a helping hand?
Yeah, I think that's more how we'll...
And it's probably, I'm going to say it's limited, but it's not limited, but it's dependent on how many people have got the time and resources behind them to be able to pitch in and come up with ideas firstly on things they'd like to see, and then be able to put the effort in and the time to pursue it and make something happen for the community. That's probably an ongoing thing for any community, but it's getting that support behind us and seeing where we can go to from there.
Is there anything that jumps out that you would particularly like to see in Mole Creek?
Not jumping out specifically. Our online access centre, it's now called Bites. That's really good. It's the tourists up in there. It's our unofficial tourist information centre, if you could like. They've got pamphlets and that there. Yes, any way that we can support them is always good, because that's something we can move forward with and will grow with the town in the future. Yeah.
So the online access centre part of it, or the tourism part of it, or the combination of the two?
Combination of the two, I think, yeah.
It's probably a couple of things going on in there. And again, it's a centre that's maintained by volunteers. So it really does rely on people in the area that have got the time to come down and devote 4 or 5 hours of their day to be there, to be a point where firstly the place is open so people can come in and use the facilities that are in there. And then also secondly, you've got the tourists that come in wanting to ask questions. And I know from speaking to the people that do work there, a lot of tourists will get a lot of information online, but there's still quite a significant percentage of them that want to actually have that one-to-one, face-on-face contact with someone that lives in the area. So it does fulfil a need there from the point of view of people from even just the Tasmania itself, the mainland, and even people coming from overseas, just wanting to get that personal touch on information being provided to them about the local area.
What's your favourite part of the Meander Valley?
All of it, living here, the mountains, the views, the lifestyle. Yep.
I think the valley is very interesting in as much as it's quite a large area. Like, you virtually go from Launceston all the way out to not far further west from here. You've got the magnificent scenery across the whole valley. The weather is amazing in as much as you've got 4 seasons. So I'd say that from being a person that's come from Brisbane, this is a place that does have seasons, like proper seasons that you expect to find in a lower latitude place like this. You've got a number of towns that offer various different facilities. Like, this town is at the end of the scale of being a small town, but if you're after something a bit bigger, you don't really have to go too far. And you've got attractions up and down the valley as well. So there's plenty of things to go and see, to do. As I could sit here and list them all off, but yeah, there are plenty right across the whole valley.
Excellent, thank you.